ColoradoSports.TV's coverage of the 2014 Mayday Mayhem tournament. My name is Rock the Mike.
And I am Julia Sleazer.
And we're getting ready to go here with the FoCo Girls Gone Derby Micro Bruisers, taking on the Happy Valley Derby Darlins Molly Morbids.
All right, welcome to our continuing action here at the 2014 Mayday Mayhem.
And we are off. Scrum start here as we start this bout.
First up, we have number 2 from Happy Valley, which is
Millie Megahertz.
Millie Megahertz started at 98 pounds of steel.
And FoCo's Jammer having a little bit of a hard time trying to get around this Happy Valley defense. Forced to the outside edge of the track, but still inbounds, upright, moving forward. That is 98 pounds of steel. And she breaks out in front of the pack, clear to score. Millie Megahertz getting a 4-point pass on that.
Out of the pack. Now eligible score.
I had suspected she was going to call it right as FoCo's Jammer entered the pack, and she in fact did. Currently the score is FoCo 0, Happy Valley 4.
And for those of you watching at home, Happy Valley is in white, FoCo in black.
This is Happy Valley's second bout for the day. Earlier they had played Oklahoma City and had lost. Looks like we are having an official timeout.
Which means it's official time for us to remind you, if you're watching on ColoradoSports.TV, which if you are, you know I'm saying this, please go like their Facebook page at facebook.com/ColoradoSports.TV. Also, there is a donate button at the bottom of the page below what you're watching here. If you have the funds to contribute, please do. We are providing this broadcast to you at no cost to you, but it does cost something to put this production on. So if you please do your part to help, we would greatly appreciate it.
Making sure every single moment of this derby is going to come to you live right here in Loveland, Colorado.
I'd also like to take this chance to tell you about one of our sponsors, which is Sticker Giant. They are the custom sticker experts and the official sticker company of ColoradoSports.TV. You can check them out at stickergiant.com and use the code Roller Derby in all caps with a space between the words at the checkout to get 10% off your order. Again, it's Roller Space Derby in all caps. If you want 10% off your order, we've got the next jam is underway.
Both jammers trying to fight their way through here. And PB and Bam out in front for Happy Valley. For FoCo. FoCo in black. Happy Valley jammer right behind her. Payne in the Nicky jamming for Happy Valley. As the jam is quickly called off.
I believe that was a 0-0 jam.
These scores are split, and that's really making a difference in both tracks. I think this side might be even just a
So currently the score is FoCo 0, Happy Valley 4. No change after this last jam.
earlier watching, people having real trouble in turn 1 and turn 2. Coming out of turn 2 especially.
Got the 5-second call.
As ladies slip around.
And the jam is on.
Both jammers trying to work their way around from the inside here. Kind of shooting in towards the middle. As Olivia Wildchild jamming for Happy Valley.
Looks like 98 pounds of steel is up for FoCo.
Looks like it is 98 pounds of steel out in front of the lead jammer. Olivia Wildchild taking a bit of a hit there, coming up from the back of the pack, works her way around to the front, trying to get around Mary popping caps. Forced into the infield, has to come back in behind. 98 pounds of steel trying to work her way through the middle. And 98 pounds of steel gets around the inside edge, calls off the jam, picking up a quick 5 points.
Really good job of working herself from back to the pack and working with that jammer back to the front of the
This is the first time for both of these teams to play each other. So it's going to be another first half of feeling each other out. Looks like FoCo remembers a line that you may have heard of called the pivot line.
The pivot line? What's that?
Just this line. Used to be important in 2010. Looks like FoCo immediately.
And just like that, PB and Bam shoots up the inside line. Lead jammer goes to FoCo. Milli Megahertz jamming for Happy Valley again, making way up through the back half of the pack, trying to get around that FoCo defense. Because the inside gets knocked down. Back up, out in front, cleared to score.
Really making use of their bridges there to soul crush PB and Jam.
As hip knock it therapy dropping back to force her to come back in behind the pack, and then the eventual call off.
Starting off this fifth jam of the first half, it's FoCo 8, Happy Valley 4.
So about 5 minutes in so far. Fairly low scoring.
We've got number 4, Pain and the Nikki up for Happy Valley, and 9 JA Pootie Tang for FoCo.
Both jammers dropping back, taking a running start as they try and break their way through. Pain and the Nikki trying to get around a 3-wall of FoCo defense. Tries to shoot around the outside. She gets clear. Lead jammer, Pain and the Nikki.
Like Pootie Tang's having a bit of trouble getting through the Happy Valley wall.
Lead jammer while Pootie Tang is trying to deal with the defense of Happy Valley.
But she is out.
Wow.
Both jammers now on scoring runs here.
Happy Valley going to knock that out on the inside.
And Pain and the Nikki calling off the jam. But not before FoCo puts 1 point on the board. It's like 3 points for Happy Valley.
Looks like they did pick up 1 point. That would be the jammer she had. She didn't get in touch with Rocket, but she did get it out 1 point. And forced the ball.
Another scrum start here as we get this next jam rolling.
We're going to have 98 pounds of steel for FoCo up against number 503, Hip Knock It Therapy for Happy Valley.
Looks like Hip Knock It Therapy trying to muscle her way up through. One last FoCo defender to get around. She is out in front, lead jammer. 98 pounds of steel, about 8 feet behind her. Both jammers here in a little bit of a foot race as the pack moves away from them.
Two jammers approaching so closely, she's going to have to make a decision if she's going to make a strategic call off very soon.
And there it is.
It's like a pointless jam just there.
Opponent to sneak in a point, but neither team scoring a point on that jam.
The score remains FoCo 9, Happy Valley 7. Next up, we've got PB and Bam for FoCo up against Milli Megahertz for Happy Valley.
All right, FoCo lining up on the pivot line. Happy Valley's jammer trying to rush through. PB and Bam trying to work her way around in the middle. And just like that, Happy Valley shooting up the inside line. Lead jammer.
Lead jammer for Happy Valley.
PB and Bam running around the outside. Getting past Wild Child. FoCo trying to hold that inside line. Milli Megahertz calling it off from the outside just before PB and Bam has a chance to score.
It's like no points in that jam either.
Good job getting out of the pack, back at the same time, putting the pressure on. And they're just not chancing it. They're calling it on before they can. That's about the best way to go. I guess it's better than giving up points.
We're not chancing it. We're 8.5 minutes into the basketball game. We're looking to see who's the first team to crack double digits.
So we're going to have 9JA Pootie Tang up for FoCo against Pain and the Nikki for Happy Valley.
I don't know how you're seeing those, but it's fantastic. Ah!
I have a stats thing right in front of me. I told you my magical trick.
All right, so it is Pootie Tang, lead jammer, painting the Nikki out in front, though. So it looks like we're going to have a potential call-off here. And there it is.
Third jam in a row that neither team has scored any points. It's a very close bout. We've done almost 10 minutes in. The score is FoCo 9, Happy Valley 7.
And both teams still in single digits.
And of course, with that pressure on, very conservative jamming, very serious about performing solid walls and just not letting them get out there and do much.
Wham Bam Julianne.
So we got PB and Bam for FoCo up against Wham Bam Julianne from Happy Valley. Both jammers trying really hard to get through that pack. The blockers trying just as hard to keep them back.
It's like PB and Bam having to deal with a solid 2-wall as she tries to fight her way out in the front. Big hit coming in from the inside, but she bounces right off it.
It's like, oh, Negative was really trying hard to keep PB and Bam from getting lead jammer status, but in fact, FoCo does have lead jammer status right now.
FoCo right now really holding a solid 3-wall with a fourth person shifting back and forth, trying to hold. But no pack's called, they got to let her go. Out of play warning issue, they have to let her go even more. Looks like that was her initial pass, though.
Yep. Looks like PB and Bam calls it off.
But this time we have some points. Looks like 4 points were scored.
Sure enough. Puts us up to FoCo 13, Happy Valley 7.
All the way, or front of her actually, from the back of the pack all the way to that front, would not go in there. It was almost like a one-on-one jammer and blocker situation. They just kept pushing it. And that's the original Shankster, just not letting that happen.
Going megahertz, number 2 for Happy Valley.
Starting off this next jam, we've got 98 pounds of steel up against Millie Megahertz, and it looks like 98 pounds of steel is taking lead for FoCo.
And Millie Megahertz knocked out to the outside, coming around turn 2. Pack got about 20 feet out in front of her by the time she was back up and ready to move in, but she is up through the front of the pack. A 4-point pass for 98 pounds of steel.
Off the jam, just as Happy Valley's jammer approaches the pack.
And so FoCo starting to increase their lead here. Currently up 17-7.
Definitely a conservative game, like I said before.
So interesting little bit of tidbit of information here for you. The FoCo Girls Gone Derby are a WFTDA ranked team. They're currently ranked at 151. Happy Valley is not ranked.
Happy Valley, this is their third sanctioned bout just now, having just achieved full WFTDA status this April. Looks like Happy Valley has the lead. That is Payne and the Nikki out there. Looks like Pootie Tang has just come out of the pack of her initial pass, so she is eligible to score points if she can make it all the way up to the pack. Payne and the Nikki calls it off. For a successful, looks like a 4-point pass for Happy Valley.
This is the first sanctioned tournament for Happy Valley.
About 17.5 minutes left to play here. 17-11. FoCo currently on top with a 6-point lead.
FoCo, of course, was here last year for Mayday Mayhem.
All right. Both teams starting.
It looks like on the line this time we have PB and Bam jamming against Bloody Two Shoes. Bloody Two Shoes her first time putting on the star here today.
Bloody Two Shoes. One blocker left to pass.
Two Shoes getting a little bit of a soul crush. FoCo has lead jammer.
As the Happy Valley Jammers still trying to contend through.
PB and Bam with the lead. Coming up on a scoring run here as she makes her way up into the back of the pack. Solid 2-wall of Happy Valley defense that knocks her down.
Now an eligible score.
Bloody Two Shoes through the pack, cleared to score. And it looks like that's going to force the call off as PB and Bam picks up I believe that's going to be 4 points.
Puts us at FoCo 21, Happy Valley 11. We've got just under 17 minutes left in this half.
So we got Millie Megahertz on the line here. And she is out in front, lead jammer. 98 pounds of steel jamming for FoCo. She is through the pack as well. Natalie Portman getting a little tripped up here coming around turn 2. Very slippery track on this side of the building.
I'm under impression that both tracks today are pretty slippery.
All right, looks like 1 point for FoCo, 2 points for Happy Valley.
Thinking 1 point before that fourth whistle blew.
So with that, we're back under a 10-point difference here. FoCo 22, Happy Valley 13. Only 9 points separating these two teams right now as we're coming up on the halfway point in this first half.
Next up, we have PB and Bam for FoCo up against Payne and the Nicky for Happy Valley.
And Payne and the Nicky trying to get around the original Skankster.
PB and Bam for FoCo.
And Skankster still pushing her around. Well out in front, but she is through. Not going to be lead, though. No pass, no penalty was issued there.
Leaves lead open for FoCo.
Clear the pack, but not lead jammer. She's still in
PB and Bam trying to find a way through. To shoot around the outside. And she's forced out by Bloody Two Shoes. Looking all 4 Happy Valley defenders there trying to hold her back. Scarlet Viper, the last one out in front, but PB Bam is through. And she is going to be lead jammer.
Gets lead jammer status, and they will follow up the jam as Happy Valley did not have the lead jammer.
We are now tied.
Score is now tied up. FoCo 22, Happy Valley 22.
And we're
Just under 15 minutes left in this half. It's really a close game.
I say this is the closest game I've seen here all day today so far.
Yes, definitely.
Booty Tang trying to dance her way through the middle of the pack.
And so currently both teams tied up at 22 with over 15 minutes gone away. Definitely the closest margin we've had all day here so far.
Able to take the outside of turn 2.
And Millie Megahertz out in front for Happy Valley, lead jammer. Pootie Tang about a third of a track behind her.
As an eligible scorer.
The track stopped at turn 2. Millie Megahertz taking a huge hit. Maybe that's the Husker Hustler.
That's Husker Hustler, yes indeed.
And that forced to call off another 0-point jam for us here. Several of those so far in this game.
This is FoCo's second time at Mayday Mayhem. Happy Valley's first time, obviously, since they just achieved WFTD member status this April. Next up, we have 98 pounds of steel for FoCo, Steel Magnolia for Happy Valley. It looks like FoCo has lead jammer status.
All right, 98 pounds of steel just squeezing right through there, getting out in front. Full half lap ahead of the pack. Massive hit there from the original Skankster, spinning around, knocking Steel Magnolia down.
Making a push, trying to become an eligible scorer against UB Nice.
And 98 pounds of steel working her way through the pack. One last Happy Valley blocker trying to hold her back. Quick spin around, she is through. That's going to be good for 4. And with Happy Valley's jammer coming up on the back of the pack, that's going to force the call off. A 4-0 jam in favor of FoCo.
Still really pushing her way through, and she fought for those 4 points before she called that. Of course, in point of time,
So we'll be starting off this next jam. Nobody in the box. The score is currently FoCo 26, Happy Valley 22.
In the black, PB and Jam for FoCo.
We've got PB and Bam for FoCo up against Olivia Wildchild. I can't talk now.
So Olivia Wildchild was starting to try and take that outside line. She got a little tripped up, tried to cut up to the middle, but now she shoots along the inside. Out in front, lead jammer. PB and Bam out as well, about 30 feet behind her.
Right behind her.
It's like FoCo's got a nice wall set up just in case. Ooh,
and Olivia Wildchild shoots right around.
Can't leave the little gap on the outside because that's the perfect opportunity for them to get through.
That's right. She picked up a full 4 points on that.
Yep.
So that's one of the downsides of having a flat vertical wall like that. If you can get past one, you should usually be able to get past all of them so you can call it off much more quickly than if it was staggered. You get the maximum amount of points you can.
We have a timeout for FoCo.
So at this point, just under 11 minutes left in the first half, we are tied again at 26.
Looks like the clock is doing something scary.
It's a wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing. It's okay.
These teams are in the same pool.
10-14 currently showing on the play clock. Score still tied at 26 though, so that didn't change.
Good. Yes, the time just changed, and I got scared that maybe I was going really, really slow. Let me tell you a little bit about Roller Derby Nation. They are bringing roller derby to the masses. They help your league manage themselves better so they can skate more. You can download free software at rdnation.com.
All right, looks like we're ready to get going here again. Skaters hear the whistle, they're ready to roll.
Pootie Tang for FoCo up against Millie Megahertz for Happy Valley. FoCo's got their wall ready.
So Millie Megahertz trying to jockey for position as she tries to fight her way up through the front. But it's going to be Pootie Tang taking a hip whip off the original skankster around the outside, lead jammer. Millie Megahertz trapped behind the pack. She's going to take a run up the middle. Trying to break up a FoCo 3-wall. Skater Bader's putting a big hit on her, forcing her to the outside edge of the track.
That FoCo wall is just impossible for Millie to get through at this point.
Looks like a multiplayer block being assessed to FoCo. And FoCo's jammer picking up a quick 5 points for Pootie Tang there. Millie Megahertz got a 2-wall of FoCo to contend with. Big hit from FoCo sends her into the middle. Looks like Sugar Smack's the one doing that hit. Got hit with a forearm penalty. And Pootie Tang picking up another 5 points on that last pass.
Millie has finally made it out of her initial pass after a couple of the blockers from FoCo went to the box.
So Pootie Tang going to call off the jam. Picked up a couple more there.
Picked up 12 points in that jam. Finally giving us a wider spread. It looks like FoCo's got 38 right now. Happy Valley's got 26.
I do believe this is the single highest scoring jam we've had so far in this game.
I believe you are correct.
All right, Happy Valley are currently with a 4-on-3 blocking advantage. Payne and the Nicky wearing the star for Happy Valley.
98 pounds of steel from FoCo getting lead jammer status.
Payne and the Nicky getting around the Husker Hustler. Both jammers now on scoring runs. Pack starting to pick up a little bit of speed here. The 98 pounds of steel tries to get up in there, get some points scored. And Nikki into the back of the pack.
Was making her score on the approach. But Nikki just before the whistle blew with the
It's like 2 points awarded to FoCo, 3 points for Happy Valley.
Payne and the Nikki right at the end of that jam got called to the box for a low block. So this is going to start off as a power jam for at least 30 seconds for FoCo.
Happy Valley with all their blockers on the floor trying to win it.
All right, and we are off in this power jam start for FoCo. PB and Bam wearing the star.
Happy Valley can keep her back for just 30 seconds. Potentially, Payne and the Nikki could come out of the box and be eligible for a lead jammer.
All right, with a little bit of help, they're opening up a hole for PB and Bam is out. Lead jammer. Penalty box emptying out here. Back to 5-on-5 derby. And then Nikki forced out of bounds by Sugar Smacks. PB and Bam coming around the outside. That's going to be good for at least 4. That is a 4-point pass. Payne and the Nikki is through. PB and Bam already on her next scoring run. Up through the pack, picks up 4 and calls it off.
It's like an 8-point jam there for FoCo. Currently the score is FoCo 48, Happy Valley 33, and we've got a timeout for Happy Valley.
And currently looking at 6 minutes left on the clock. A lot more action here in the last 5-10 minutes than we saw in the first 5 or 10.
It's a true story.
So definitely picking up in the intensity. And the two teams have been, really been able to start feeling each other out, figuring out where to move, where not to. I'm sure we'll see that continue as we go on through the rest of this first half and then into the second.
Something I noticed I had been announcing the Happy Valley versus Oklahoma City bout earlier. They do and have modified their technique as the game goes on. So I suspect, especially during the second half, we're going to see some strategy adapted specifically to this team's play.
Yeah, it sounds pretty consistent with what I've seen earlier today as well with the bouts I was announcing. A lot of second half changes. So nobody approaching the second half anywhere near the way they did the first.
Once again, you are likely tuning in on ColoradoSports.TV. The stream is free and the archives will be free, but it is only made possible by your donations. So go ahead and scroll down to that donations link. You can give as little as $1 or as much as you like. Anything will do.
And saying, be sure and like the Colorado Sports TV page on Facebook as well. Get all the information from Colorado Sports TV showing up in your news feed. They do cover more than just roller derby.
There are other sports?
Apparently, I've never seen them. Pootie Tang, jamming for FoCo, trying to force her way through up in the front of the pack.
Got hypnotic therapy for Happy Valley, also trying to force her way through.
And Pootie Tang almost through, but she gets a low block penalty, so that's going to make this a power jam here for Happy Valley. Hypnotic therapy lead jammer. This is exactly what Happy Valley needs right now.
For Happy Valley.
And shoots around the outside. It's going to be good for a high 5. And Happy Valley definitely making use of the passive offense here. Holding the pack back just outside of turn 4. 98 pounds of steel and Susie Muffy Cruncher trying to hold her back, but she gets through. It's good for another 5. All right, the power jam is over though. Pootie Tang back in, out in front of the pack. Looks like that was her initial pass. Hypnotic therapy shoots around the outside, calls it off. She's going to pick up 3.
She's awarded 3 points for that final pass. And she's able to take 13 points.
Just waiting to make sure the scoreboard updates here, because I believe that's going to bring us to 48-46.
Just over 4 minutes left in this half in a very, very, very close game. FoCo 48, Happy Valley 46. Next up for Happy Valley, we've got Millie Megahertz.
Millie Megahertz lined up again.
She will be up against Miss Erie Business for FoCo. This being her first time as a jammer in this bout.
And I'll say both jammers out in front, though. Happy Valley just edging out to get the lead. Millie Megahertz going to call it off with Misery Business getting out in front of her.
First time on the jam line for Happy Valley is Gypsy Wipeout. Going against Mayday Mayhem. There's the whistle.
All right, Happy Valley jammer trying to take the inside line. FoCo's jammer shoots around to the inside. It's a Gypsy Wipeout jamming for Happy Valley. PB and Bam for FoCo.
She's taken down on the outside of the far third. PB and Jam looking at a 3-wall, now a 4-wall of Happy Valley defenders.
Happy Valley walling up, trying to keep the opposing jammer back, but get their own jammer through.
Huge hit there on Happy Valley's jammer. She's out lead jammer. Gypsy Wipeout. PB and Bam now through the pack as well. Gypsy Wipeout coming up on his scoring pass here.
Gypsy splits the defense, caps the hit, skull up the jam, and we're looking at 2 points.
And that right there, that just tied it up again.
Another tie score. Back to the beginning.
Just under 2.5 minutes left.
All over again.
Our third, fourth tie of the game so far already.
Yeah, it's seeing a pattern.
Tie score.
An odd
And both
pattern.
teams, you know, not necessarily taking big chances.
Got Missouri Business up again for FoCo. Steel Magnolia for Happy Valley.
And now we've got Missouri Business.
Looks like Misery Business trying to edge through. Finds a hole in the middle. Lead jammer.
Steel Magnolia.
Happy Valley trying to open up a hole for the jammer. Coming up through the middle. Steel Magnolia trying to get around the Husker Hustler.
She's just having no luck getting past those last few girls, and she gets swallowed right back into the pack.
And FoCo doing a great job containing the other jammer.
Definitely.
And Misery Business picking up a quick 5 points on that pass. Steel Magnolia still trying to get around the Husker Hustler. And there we go. Pushes her out past that 20-foot mark, out of play, lets her go.
Took her an entire minute to get successfully through her initial pass.
And Misery Business going to call off the jam here.
9-point jam for FoCo. Currently the score is FoCo 57, Happy Valley 48, and we've got just under 1 minute left in this half.
The blockers are forming up some solid walls and popping down, but I think this swing floor has as much to do with it as anything else. These ladies are trying their best.
Next up is PB and Bam for FoCo against Millie Megahertz for Happy Valley.
All right, so Millie Megahertz trying to shoot up the inside line, finds a hole, gets through, but she gets a back block.
Yeah.
We got a back block.
That's unfortunate.
She made a hole so hard she had to go to the box for it.
All right, PB and Bam up the inside line, lead jammer.
PB and Bam lead jammer for FoCo as we've got a Happy Valley jammer and a power jammer going to FoCo and PB and Bam.
So FoCo going to hold up. Oh, we got a star pass.
To the pack.
PB and Bam handing the star off to the original Skankster. Got to put that star back on.
Only if she wants to be active. Oh, and she's dropped the jammer or the pivot pantry on the actual track. The referee has picked it up so as to not create an obstacle. Sometimes it's a little hard to put your panties on. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when trying to put on 2 pair. Millie Megahertz back in the action here.
For FoCo.
Original Skankster getting through, 5-point pass.
Squeezing her way through a couple of FoCo defenders and now in scoring position. Super at the hand pass, going to take this game clock all the way to 0. And no lead jam is designated at this time.
Because that star pass, we will do this jam to its natural conclusion.
Right, we will go the full 2 minutes here. It's the Original Skankster getting through for another 5 points.
We've only got about 20 seconds left.
And Millie Megahertz getting through for 4 on her last pass.
Scoring approach, Millie Megahertz also on the scoring approach, trying to split this. FoCo defense on the first.
PB and Bam throwing the Bam in on Millie Megahertz, forcing her out. All right, looks like there it is, the 2 minutes, and that should be the end of the first half. So give him just a second here, make sure we get the scoreboard updated before we say anything.
Dramatic pause.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, I think we're updated successfully here. So FoCo at 68, Happy Valley 58.
This has been a very close bout the entire first half. I want to say the second half won't be as close, but I don't feel confident in saying that.
Yes, it looks like consistently FoCo has edged ahead, you know, a few jams at a time, but then Happy Valley keeps catching up.
Yep.
Haven't seen a whole lot of power jams either.
No, I think there was 2 that I recall.
Looks like I see 1 power jam with, looks like 5 points earned on that power jam. If we're reading our stats.
This is my first time with the stats program, and I really love it, but I'm a little bit slow. I apologize. So we have a 5-minute half. I'm going to go ahead and give my voice a rest. Tune back in here in about 4.5 minutes.
Happy Valley had 1 power jam. Happy Valley did a much better job of taking advantage.
Welcome back to the second half here of the FoCo Girls Gun Derby, taking on the Happy Valley Derby Darlins here at the 4th annual Mayday Mayhem tournament. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Rock the Mike.
And I am Julia Sleazer.
All right, coming back from the first half score, currently FoCo on top with 68, Happy Valley 54. This is actually about the widest margin we've seen so far in this game. For the most part, it's been very close, usually within 5 or 6 points. So by far, one of the closest games I've seen here so far today. A lot of great back and forth action, solid defense from both teams. That's really what's been keeping the score down.
This is Happy Valley's second bout today. They lost earlier to Oklahoma City. If they lose this bout, they'll be eliminated from this tournament. So I really think they've got the fire lit under them to really try to win this bout.
Yeah, it definitely creates a sense of urgency. All right, and we are off here. Looks like FoCo with a 2-all on the inside in the middle of the pack. FoCo's jammer.
Be nice. First time jamming out there for FoCo today.
All right, she gets out in front, lead jammer. FoCo now with a 3-wall up front of the pack on the outside, trying to hold Happy Valley's jammer in, but Pain in the Nicky gets around on the inside.
Happy Valley has got a 3-man wall there in the middle. It's getting broken up as UB Nice tries to get through. She calls it off.
Looks like, I'm going to say 2 points for both jammers on that last
I believe
pass.
so.
So again, just going on with the back and forth action we've seen so far already in the first half of this game. So both teams looks like doing a good job adjusting to what the other was doing.
Going to start off with one FoCo blocker in the box. So Happy Valley's got the advantage of numbers.
So it's going to be 4-on-3 in the pack. Milli Megahertz jamming for Happy Valley. 98 pounds of steel for FoCo. And it's like Milli Megahertz getting out in front. 90 pounds of steel right behind her, though. It's like Happy Valley trying to control the front of the pack. And that's going to be a low block there being assessed to Happy Valley. Scarlet Viper going to take the fall for that. And with that, now FoCo is going to have the 4-on-3 advantage in the pack.
Switching it up. Neither team looks like they really have a definitive wall getting ready for this next jam. And they are in a line. There we go. They're getting into position. We've got the FoCo wall and then Happy Valley's wall just in front of them.
Yeah, FoCo trying to own the front side of that jammer line. PB and Bam with the star for FoCo.
There'll be Olivia Wildchild out there for Happy Valley, though. PB and Bam has got lead for FoCo.
Silly play on word names. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry. Olivia Wildchild trying to get around this 3-wall of FoCo defense up at the front of the pack.
It's going to be PB and Bam's first scoring pass. She's having trouble getting past the Happy Valley.
Looks like Happy Valley had a 2-wall at the front, but it got a little spread out too wide, so PB and Bam has a hole to get through.
She gets through with a 5-point pass there. FoCo is grouped up front, holding back the Happy Valley jammer.
So luckily Misery Business holding back, trying to keep that pack maintained in the rear. All right, FoCo with solid wall of the back, telling their jammer call it off as the Happy Valley jammer comes around.
This is when
It does a good job preventing any additional points from Happy Valley there. It looks like 3 were scored by FoCo.
We're finally seeing a pretty good spread. It's FoCo 80, Happy Valley 56.
So FoCo definitely making advantage of what they saw in the first half, adjusting well.
Definitely.
Waiting to see what Happy Valley does as well here.
This is number 69 Skater Baiter for FoCo. This is her first time out as jammer today. She'll be up against Pain in the Nicky, who's been out very many times for Happy Valley.
And both jammers trapped on the outside at the back of the pack. Looks like Pain in the Nicky is trying to swing around the outside. She is out in front, lead jammer. Skater Baiter doing the same thing as she slides around, hip check at therapy. Ready whips, the last blocker out in front.
FoCo's got their wall in the back ready to hang up Nikki, but she calls off the jam after successfully busting right through it.
It should be good for a quick 4. FoCo definitely doing a good job here now in the second half, trying to control things. Happy Valley, good recovery there with that 4-point jam. And on the line, we've got Pootie Tang jamming for FoCo, the Milli Megahertz for Happy Valley. Scrum start at the jammer line.
It seems like several times in this bout we've seen FoCo line up right against that jammer line and then Happy Valley line up or wall up right in front of them. That was no different this jam.
Yes, I definitely want to be controlling that line. And if you've got that line, you have to be able to move quickly side to side.
Definitely.
And Pootie Tang trying to get it around a 3-wall. Happy Valley defense in the front. No pack call. They got to let it go. She's out in front. Lead jammer.
We have a 3-on-3 pack. We've got one blocker from each team in the box.
Happy Valley controlling the back. They make their way up to the front. Trying to hold the pack back so their jammer can catch up. So Booty Tank going to go ahead and call it off. 0-point jam. All right, for the people watching the other track. Oh, this isn't even the other track. This is the other tournament going on right now between Denver, the Denver Roller Dolls, and the Windy City Rollers. Looks like Denver is up 45-26 for those of you in the Derbyverse who would like to multitask.
You can tune in and see that tournament as well on ColoradoSports.TV.
You Be Nice, jamming for FoCo, trying to get around all the Happy Valley defense up at the front. She managed to squeeze by lead jammer.
Hypnotic Therapy jamming for Happy Valley is hung up in the back with FoCo's blockers really managing to keep her.
A little bit of a spin out there coming out of turn one. Again, polished concrete, very slippery track here.
Oh, yes.
Takes a lot of skill to be able to stay up on your feet. You Be Nice gets around. This can be good for 5.
Happy Valley's jammer still has not completed her initial pass.
It's like FoCo doing a good job controlling pack speed here.
Just under 1 minute left in this jam. And now Happy Valley's jammer has made it out of the pack on her initial pass.
And with that realization, You Be Nice going to go ahead and call off the jam here. FoCo now steadily increasing their lead. It's going to be 90-60. FoCo with the 30-point lead. Happy Valley calling a team timeout.
Happy Valley, get on that last run. I saw You Be Nice get an assist.
Take this time out here to remind you that ColoradoSports.TV does do all sorts of different sports all across the great state of Colorado. If you want to know what they've got coming up, they do update their Facebook page every week with what's happening over the weekend, dates, times. So go to facebook.com/ColoradoSports.TV, like the page, and get everything in your news feed for all the great sports that they cover here.
I should give this little tip. When you like them, go back and make sure you click in their settings that you want notifications from them.
Yes.
Because Facebook, it's a little bit wonky every once in a while and decides you can like stuff and then apparently never hear from it again. So make sure that you check in your settings that you have notifications set for Colorado Sports TV.
Anyone remember when this was released? I think I am that old.
All right, so it looks like... What am I looking at here? That's what I'm looking at. All right, team timeout is over. But as far as actual percentages and stuff go, FoCo has had lead jammer 56% of the time. Looks like 41% of the time Happy Valley has had lead. I'm assuming the other percentages of the time there were no leads.
No leads, yes,
So
indeed.
we've had a couple of star passes, so that'll impact that. One jam had a no pass, no penalty. And back at it now.
It's 98 pounds of steel for FoCo up against Wham Bam Julian.
And Happy Valley with a solid 3-wall at the front of the pack. 90 pounds of steel making her way up to it. And Happy Valley got one dropping back the bridge. And 98 pounds of steel gets around O-negative, lead jammer. Pain in the Nicky taken out by the Husker Hustler.
Husker Hustler has some pretty big hits in her.
She does a lot of hustling.
Yeah, I should say.
All right. Pack definitely formed in the back. Couple people in front out of play, having to drop back to rejoin that pack to avoid the out of play penalties.
Wham Bam Julian being sent to the box for a high block, which means there's a power jam at least for the next 30 seconds for FoCo.
All right, so FoCo very close to hitting the century mark here already. And that right there will do it. So with that 5-point pass, FoCo 100. Happy Valley currently at 60.
All at the same time.
Happy Valley lining up a 4-wall at the front to try and hold FoCo's jammer back. They succeed in forcing her out of bounds. And with that, they successfully force the cut penalty as well.
It was just at the end of Wham Bam Julianne's penalty, so 98 pounds of steel is going to be serving very close to a full 30 seconds.
All right, now Happy Valley with a chance to try and make up some of this deficit. But Misery Business doing a good job blocking on the inside line. And Wham Bam is through. That was her initial pass. FoCo now with a 4-wall at the front of the pack.
98 pounds of steel is standing in the box, so she may, she gets out of the box just at the natural conclusion of the jam.
I say FoCo did a good job holding at the end of the jam there,
Definitely.
keeping Happy Valley's jabber from getting through at all. So it looks like they're setting up to do some good blocker recycling as well.
So that was a 10-point jam for FoCo. Currently has 100 points up against Happy Valley's 60 points.
And it looks like this time we've got Happy Valley with the rear line there. FoCo out in front, all 4 of them. 4-on-3 blocking advantage to FoCo. PB Bam tries to shoot around the outside. And thanks to Sugar Smacks opening up that hole for her, she is through. Happy Valley's jammer out right behind her.
She's about 20 and 30 feet behind her just now.
So FoCo out in front of the pack. Looks like they're trying to slow things down a little bit.
The entirety of Happy Valley's blockers are just in the back as both jammers approach.
And Happy Valley trying to get to the front to avoid being points. And no points scored on that pass. Or the jam, for that matter.
True story.
We tell it like it is.
Facts. Oh, no. Lies. There was 4 points in that jam.
Shenanigans.
Oh, my.
Those 4 points weren't there 30 seconds ago.
I don't know where they came from.
They came from over there.
I saw it.
And it looks like FoCo with the rear line now. Happy Valley out in front. 5-on-5 on the track.
FoCo's jammer making their way to the front. Happy Valley jammers stuck in the back behind all those FoCo girls.
FoCo trying to regain control of the pack up in the front.
FoCo currently has lead jammer. That's Miss Erie Business out there.
And no pack was called. And there is 1 failure to reform being assessed. Misery Business going to call off the jam after picking up 4.
I believe that is an official timeout, perhaps.
So far in the second half of this battle,
It is an official review.
only given up 6 points to Happy Valley, so 40
I
points.
saw an official review sign.
FoCo is definitely the second half team for this.
Yes. There's Happy Valley's coach out in the center of the track. Being joined by FoCo's coach. So the official reviews, like the official timeouts, can take as long as they need to. Team timeouts only last 1 minute. Now, what makes official reviews different, if you use your first official review and succeed in overturning a call, you get to keep it and use it again. If you do not, you get charged for it.
You also get 1 per half. Unlike the timeouts, you get 3 for the entire game.
So it's very important to decide when to use those.
And also, if you're out of timeouts and you use official reviews and you don't really have anything to review, the referees will get grumpy.
It's not a good idea.
It's not your, you don't want to do it.
The referees work very hard doing what they do. We try and do everything we can to accommodate them. It's a hard job out there in the middle.
It is. I actually started out my career as an official, and I refereed for 2.5 seasons, and I've gone back to NSOing. I love NSOing. So I'm pretty much NSOing and announcing at this point, but there's not a lot of things harder I've done in my life than refereeing. It takes a lot of mental and physical fortitude. Not that statistics don't, because it does.
This is not untrue. I say refereeing is a whole different kind of difficult, because while you're trying to observe everything that's happening, you have to be moving on skates, dodging your own people, dodging skaters when they get knocked into you. It's a lot of work and a lot of multitasking.
There's a lot going on. So I used to tell people when they first start reffing, they realize how confusing it is. It's like, yeah, you've got 10 people on the track and they're all doing something, and you have to figure out what it is and if it's okay. It's a rough job.
We'll send a shout out to our outside pack refs too. Everybody thinks being an OPR is the easiest position in refdom. It's really not.
Yeah, the fact is you're sprinting after the pack constantly, and there was always like when I heard skaters like, I skated like 3 lines. I'm like, I skated every line. I chased you. Yes.
And with the current way they have the rotation set up, where you've got one OPR in the front of the pack, one in the back, you're doing half laps the entire time.
I was always lucky enough to have a full 3 on the outside, but.
And over on the other track here at Mayday Mayhem, the Slaughterhouse Derby Girls taking on the ICT Roller Girls. Slaughterhouse currently up 278-72.
Is that the half? Or is that the final?
That is the final for that game.
Slaughterhouse winning that one, 278 to ICT 72.
The Slaughterhouse Derby Girls are host for this tournament.
Indeed. So once again, this is FoCo's second Mayday Mayhem, and this is Happy Valley's first. Happy Valley just recently, I've mentioned this maybe too many times at this point, just recently got their full WFTDA membership in April of this year. So what you're watching here is their 3rd sanctioned bout ever.
And looking at our records here for Happy Valley, this is the first time they've ever played any of the teams in this tournament.
It's pretty exciting. I was really impressed with how they did against OKC earlier. They might not have pulled out a win, but you could watch them adapt. They didn't give up. They had good endurance through the whole thing. So I've been really thrilled to watch such a new team come out here with these seasoned veteran teams.
And I say that definitely played into how they approached the first half of this game right here. So FoCo looks like adjusted better after the half.
Certainly.
But Happy Valley definitely not slouching. So they've made the adjustments of their own. And they're really keeping FoCo from running away with this.
Definitely. I mean, even with right now we have a 48-point spread, FoCo 108, Happy Valley 60. It's still not what I would consider a blowout.
No, not even close. And with UB Nice jamming for FoCo here, trying to increase that lead, but she's got to get past that Happy Valley defense. A 2-all at the front. She manages to squeak just through, but Happy Valley's jammer comes up out of nowhere, painting the Nicky about 10 feet behind UB Nice.
Like a ninja.
Yes, she is. Both teams now trying to fight for control of the front of the pack. Looks like Happy Valley is in front, trying to slow things down for their jammer to catch up. But it's called off with 0 points scored.
I think she called it thinking she would get at least 1 point, because they do continue to score points through the 4th whistle. But her point moved out of the way just in time, so score stays at 108 FoCo, 60 Happy Valley.
And we've had multiple 0 point jams here in this game.
Yes, there's been quite a few.
FoCo holding that back line as this next jam kicks off. Happy Valley with a 3-wall at the front, holding 98 pounds of steel.
It's going to be honey guns for Happy Valley.
And honey guns shooting around the outside, got a 2-wall of FoCo defense to contend with in the middle of the pack. With 98 pounds of steel out in front, lead jammer.
FoCo starting to take control of the front of the pack.
And a 3-waller at the front, now it's down to a 2-wall. Honey Guns gets past.
I believe this is Honey Gun's 2nd time jamming today. She's not going to have a chance to score any points because FoCo is going to call it off about 30 feet before she enters the pack.
And FoCo picking up 4 points on that last pass.
She's very slowly creeping that difference up.
I love the little hand gestures. I know people on the internet can't see it, but it was great.
That's my space hand gesture. If I turn it this way, though, it's just a dog.
I can see that. Back to the action on the track. Next jam has begun. FoCo holding the front line. But Millie Megahertz for Happy Valley out in front. Lead jammer shooting around the outside, getting past all of that defense.
It's like FoCo has gotten a goat. And they're going to keep her. That's hypnotherapy out there. The pivot stuck behind the FoCo line.
And now FoCo trying to get up into the front of the pack. Gypsy Wipeout.
It's coming up out of nowhere. Rawr.
And 2 points scored for Happy Valley. Currently FoCo on top 112 to Happy Valley's 62.
Yeah, I believe that is the...
I believe that did update, yes.
I think so. There haven't been a lot of blowout jams. It's a couple of points here and there, a couple of points here and there. So each team is really, I would call it kind of creeping.
Yeah, we really have not seen any large scoring jams.
That one I remember is it was a 12-pointer.
And just like that, Misery Business sliding through on the inside. The lead jammer for FoCo. Happy Valley's jammer getting around the last line of FoCo defense. Both jammers out, about a half a lap apart. Happy Valley trying to get up to the front of the pack to gain control. Misery Business calling it off after being forced into the infield by O Negative.
It's going to be 3 points picked up by FoCo, bringing them up to 115. Happy Valley remaining at 62. We've got just a tiny bit over 14 minutes left in this half.
All right, Happy Valley lining up on the jammer line. For a second there, I thought FoCo was going to go to the pivot line, but then they drop back. Happy Valley currently with the 4-on-3 blocking advantage.
We've got Wham Bam Julian really getting aggressive, trying to get to the front of that pack, being held back by a 3-wall for FoCo.
That's right, Bloody Two Shoes did a good job knocking her out of bounds and then dropping back just enough to force that cut penalty.
UB Nice being sent to the box for a track cut. It's going to be a power jam for at least 30 seconds.
And now we got Happy Valley going with the passive offense. Trying to get around a 3-wall of FoCo that's sliding ahead. And Wham Bam going to call off the jam. I guess she's going to try and get a fresh start for her next jammer.
They did pick up 4 points on that jam.
And FoCo's jammer still sitting in the box. So more than 10 seconds for this power jam start.
Down by 1 blocker.
FoCo with the front line. FoCo getting knocked down left and right as Millie Megahertz breaks her way through the lead jammer. More passive offense here. Happy Valley trying to hold the pack back so Millie Megahertz doesn't have to skate so much.
FoCo, there's nothing passive about that. They're throwing their own players into the jammer, trying to keep her from getting through that wall. She calls the jam as the FoCo jammer had just re-entered the pack from the box. It's like 1 point picked up by Happy Valley for that jam.
So there's a very short discussion from FoCo's coach about a potential back block that was not called. I did not see a penalty, and it doesn't matter if we saw it or not because the official's word is the official word.
Truth.
It's the zebra way. FoCo in the front, solid 4-wall. PB and Bam swings around her outside blocker, lead jammer. Happy Valley trying to make the way up to the front, avoid being points.
It's pain in the neck. You need to just get past that one last jammer. Or blocker, sorry. She's finished her initial pass.
PB and Bam finds a hole. It's like Sugar Smacks on the lateral slide, opens it up for her. Picks it up 4 as she calls it off. Starting to see a little bit of like a rhythm change here. FoCo would be good for 3 or 4 jams, then Happy Valley will pick up the slack. A lot of back and forth action. That's why it looks like the score is slowly creeping up.
It's not a huge spread still. It's 119 FoCo to 67 Happy Valley. got
only
almost
52.
Yeah, we've got just under 11 minutes left too.
And Skater Baiter putting on the star here for FoCo. She's out in front. Lee Jammer getting around that 3 wall of Happy Valley defense in the front. Happy Valley trying to line it up again in the front of the pack. 4 wall across the track.
Gypsy Wipeout, who is jamming for Happy Valley, has just entered the box.
Husker Hustler came through, breaking up that Happy Valley 4 wall for Skater Baiter to get through. Again, more passive offense here. Good way to keep your jammer from getting winded. No packs called. Gambit quickly jumping back to reform the pack. Now, frontmost skaters not obligated to skate backwards, but sometimes it's a good idea if you want to engage.
Skater Baiter there, you could see her put her hands up and look to her bench, should I call it? Now she just decided not to because Happy Valley is still on their initial pass. Now she calls it off, having scored 15 points for FoCo in that jam. It's a nicely done, nicely used power jam, and
I do believe that is going to be our new high-scoring jam for this game.
looks like we have Gypsy Wipeout got a cut track right at the end of that jam, so she'll be entering the box. That gives FoCo the power jam advantage starting off next.
FoCo definitely increasing the lead here. Having a power jam to start is only going to help that cause. So if Happy Valley wants to get back in this, they need to do some quick adjusting here. And with this 3 wall at the front, 98 pounds of steel finds a way through the middle. Lead jammer. 3-on-3 in the pack. Happy Valley up in front. FoCo trying to get the pack moving forward a little bit, then looks like they slowed up to try and create a bit of a possible destruction scenario, but everybody managed to stay where they needed to. 5-point pass.
FoCo's got a wall sitting right at the back waiting. Happy Valley's walled up just in front of them.
And Happy Valley's jammer back in the box. Back out from the box, rather. Penalty box is now empty, 5-on-5 on the track. And just as I say that, another cut penalty for Happy Valley's jammer.
Gypsy Wipeout. I believe that's 3 penalties just there. We don't have an outside whiteboard that I can, or sorry, an inside whiteboard I can see to give you a total penalty count on her.
With 8 minutes left, it's probably stacking up. And now is not the time you want to be getting sloppy. Important to stay focused. Keep your head in the game. O-Negative being hit with an out-of-play block there. Looks like she held on just a little too long. Got out past that 20-foot mark. Good job by Hypnotic Therapy.
FoCo's got a 3 wall at the back, keeping Gypsy Wipeout, who's just returned from the box, from getting through. I believe she's still on her initial pass, so got 17 seconds left in this jam.
Both teams doing solid defense here. 98 pounds of steel having a very hard time getting past that last Happy Valley blocker. Happy Valley now with a 3 wall at the front of the pack. FoCo down 2 blockers. Just as O-Negative comes back in from the box for Happy Valley.
Happy Valley's going to take a timeout now.
Good call. Regroup, figure out a plan. They're going to start with a 4-2 blocking advantage.
That was a 25-point jam. Woo, nice.
So just under 7 minutes left. FoCo definitely edging closer and closer towards a win here. Happy Valley, though, not letting them have it easily.
No, certainly not. It's kind of like when they were playing OKC, I pointed out, they may not be winning, but you don't see them giving up. They have good endurance, they have good strategy, they're still trying really hard, and that's always good to see.
And given how young they are as a team, too, especially as WFTA league.
Right.
A lot of growing to do, a lot of learning, and I'd say based just on the changes they made from earlier today and from the second half here, definitely paying attention to what's going on, taking good mental notes, and applying everything they're learning.
Certainly. That's one of my favorite things about coming to tournaments is watching teams grow in just such a short period of time. Every bout is a learning experience, and you can watch them immediately apply this new knowledge. I should mention, actually, FoCo was founded in 2006 versus Happy Valley in 2011. So, yeah, as such a young league, they really are holding their own against some of these more well-seasoned teams.
I say FoCo has had some great players move through their ranks throughout the years as well.
Definitely.
So a very strong knowledge base to start with, a lot of skill, a lot of history. Happy Valley really doing a great job here, keeping up as well as they are.
Yep.
All right, scrum start here.
Got UB Nice for FoCo up against Millie Megahertz for Happy Valley.
And Millie Megahertz trying to get around Misery Business. And she does, gets out past that 20-foot mark. So she's clear, lead jammer. This is where Happy Valley really needs to start holding FoCo's jammer back.
Happy Valley's jammer just ran through that pack with 5 points. It's impressive.
And just as I say it, Pain in the Nicky and O-Negative, a little tag team waterfall action, knocking FoCo's jammer out. UB Nice getting hit with a cut penalty, so that's going to make this a power jam now for Millie Megahertz and Happy Valley.
She really did just step right in front of the pack.
Sometimes it just happens.
I know.
Millie Megahertz breaking through. That's going to be good for 5. Happy Valley content staying right where they are. FoCo with a solid 4-wall across the track.
FoCo just absorbing the hit as Millie tries to make her way through.
Misery Business doing a good job with that nice slow block, still moving forward, even if just barely, to avoid the stop block penalty. But another 5 points for Millie Megahertz.
So far, that's a 20-point jam for Happy Valley.
O-Negative opening up a hole on the outside. Millie Megahertz jumps around Princess of Wales for another 4 points. Power jam is over. 24-point jam so far for Happy Valley. Make that 5 more, 29. Best jam that Happy Valley has had here in this game.
I believe this is the highest scoring jam we've had.
And there's still time. We're not done yet. Now we're done.
I think it came to its natural conclusion, in fact.
It looks like it did go the full 2 minutes.
Jeez.
And interestingly enough, UB Nice getting a cut penalty right there just before the whistles blow. So Happy Valley going to start off with another power jam here.
Score is FoCo 162. Happy Valley creeping up on him with 96. Got about just under 4.5 minutes left in this bout.
So if Happy Valley can do another 2 or 3 jams like this one, putting a lot of points on the board,
it's possible.
They can still come back. 2-all FoCo defense at the front.
FoCo certainly does not want them to come back, even though they got the lead.
Hypnotic Therapy out lead jammer. Princess of Wales getting stuck with an out-of-play block.
UB Nice is still sitting. Oh, she's just stood in the box, so she should be rejoining her friends on the track any second now.
Hypnotic Therapy gets past the 3-wall. FoCo on the front. That's good for 5 points. With that, Happy Valley has broken the century mark.
Happy Valley started off with a long bridge, getting ready for FoCo's jammer to re-enter the track, and now they've got her hung up in a 3-man.
Natalie Portman there doing a good job.
Yeah.
Holding Hypnotic Therapy back, giving FoCo's jammer a little bit of time to catch up.
It's a 10-point jam already for Happy Valley.
And that was UB Nice's initial pass, so Happy Valley still got some time. There we go. It's good for another 4.
I believe so.
And she's going to call it. Before FoCo has a chance to score, 14-point jam.
This is exciting.
This is exactly what Happy Valley needs to be doing right now.
She's got 3 minutes left. FoCo 162, having picked up 0 points in that jam. Happy Valley picked up 14, putting them at 110. They're really blasting their way up just at the end of this bout. Impressive.
Yeah, so Happy Valley went from just over a 100-point deficit. Now they're down by 52.
Yeah.
In a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And it looks like the trend is continuing. A couple Happy Valley skaters down at the front of the pack. Gambit wearing the star for Happy Valley. FoCo's jammer shoots around the outside.
Skater Bader from FoCo has lead jammer.
So Gambit shoots up the inside. She's about a quarter of a lap behind the Skater Bader. Happy Valley trying to slow the pack down. Omega trapped behind FoCo. Princess of Wales dropping back. Gambit forced to come in a good 25 feet behind the rest of the pack. Skater Bader tries to slide around the outside, but she's got a 3-wall of FoCo defense at the front to hold her.
She is, now all 4 of FoCo's skaters are concentrating on keeping Happy Valley's jammer back. Soul crushing, bringing her half a track away from the rest of her teammates.
And Princess of Wales definitely doing a good job there again.
I think Skater Bader's trying to run down the clock as much as possible to keep Happy Valley from continuing that massive point streak they just had going on.
Definitely a strong strategy idea to employ here. Say 10 points on the board currently in this jam for FoCo, but yeah, if they can run down the clock.
As much as possible, because there is a little bit of difference between the game clock and the jam clock at this point, but they can get them down to about 30 seconds or so.
And Skater Bader looking like she was about ready to call it off.
Nope, she's doing it now. So we got under a minute left in this half, which is, this game.
So we're about 43 seconds as of right now. FoCo on top, 175. Happy Valley, 110. 112. Why do they keep updating the scoreboard after I say things? I know what I'm doing, I promise.
Nuh-uh.
All right, now we've got ourselves an official review here.
It's Happy Valley taking their official review.
At this point, you may as well. 20 seconds left on the clock.
Well, to use your official review and not get in trouble, you got to have something to actually review. They were, and I believe they were out of timeouts, though. According to the scoreboard.
The scoreboard does funny things sometimes.
Well,
though.
I see what I believe is the timeout total, but I don't see where the official reviews are on the scoreboard. There's a million different scoreboard programs, each with their own little eccentricities. So I'm under the impression Happy Valley was out of timeouts. They took an official review just at the end, and I see a back block motion, and then I don't know what that was, earthquake motion?
Could be an earthquake.
Could be an earthquake, who can say? The officials are going to go back and talk about whatever's going on there. In the meantime, I'd like to remind you that this awesome broadcast, along with several other sports broadcasts, are brought to you for free by ColoradoSports.TV. Clearly, you're watching it there right now. If you'd like to keep things free and be awesome, go ahead and scroll down to the donate button, and you can give as little as $1 or as much as you have.
There's really no limit on what you can donate.
Yeah. Well, I guess the limit would be how much money do you have?
In which case, you can borrow it from your neighbors.
Right. Yeah. You can take out a loan for all I care.
Yeah, we'll take it.
It's not my credit score. Don't go bankrupt for this, but do if you have a couple extra bucks. Even like $1 can make a difference. But we were suggesting earlier, like $5 donation would be really nice. If you were here in person, it would be $30 for the weekend. So
that's right. And compared to what you spend on pay-per-view,
right,
for like a 2-minute boxing fight, $75 easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it can get up there very quickly. So here you've got an entire 3 days.
It is 49 bouts between Mayday Mayhem and the Denver. Is it called the Denver Throwdown?
It's the Thin Air Throwdown.
Thin Air Throwdown. I'm sorry. 49 bouts between the two of them for free, and you can keep the archives free and defray a lot of our broadcast costs by just giving a couple bucks. It would be awesome. I would approve of you as a decent person, and I know a lot of you rely on my judgment.
Julius Leeser, everybody. All right, back to the action on the track. We are going here. Millie Megahertz jamming for Happy Valley. She is out in front of the last FoCo blocker, lead jammer. Time quickly running down on the clock. FoCo trying to get this pack moving. Happy Valley, though, out in front trying to slow it down. FoCo's jammer, that is PB and Bam. Oh, Millie Megahertz getting hit with a back blocking penalty.
That means we're going to go for a full 2-minute jam because Millie had lead jammer status.
All right, and the time clock, or the period clock, just ran out. So we're going to go the full 2 minutes. PB and Bam, looks like a no pass, no point there. So she's only going to pick up, should be 4.
No, that was a full 5-point pass.
I'm not sure where the no pass, no point hand signal came from.
I'm not. I didn't see the one you were talking about, so I'm just going to go with your line. I love you.
It might have been existing from a previous pass.
Who can say? Who can say?
There's a lot of stuff going on in the infield.
It's true.
FoCo holding the back of the pack here. Happy Valley trying to hold PB and Bam back. They succeed in forcing her out of bounds coming into turn 2.
A little bitty soul crush right there.
Omega doing a great job coming right to that outside line, forcing her to come back in all the way behind the entire pack. As Millie Megahertz comes back in out of the box.
Thank God for you, because the only way I can describe what's going on right now is there's a bunch of people on the track and they're doing a lot of things all over.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
And it's real good.
Millie Megahertz, though, getting through that pass for a good 4 points.
So far, this has been a 10-point jam for FoCo, 4-point jam for Happy Valley. We're running down the clock. 5 seconds left.
PB and Bam knocked to the infield. Big hit from Princess of Wales, knocking Millie Megahertz outside.
Looks like that is going to be that.
2 additional points for Happy Valley. I saw 4 more for FoCo. So the scoreboard has already auto-updated. Unofficial title, FoCo 189, Happy Valley 118.
Gonna wait for the official swoopy whistle, I believe is what I'm waiting on.
The swoopy whistle.
I love the swoopy whistle. The swoopy whistle is my favorite. I often jam time just for the pleasure of swoopy whistling.
It is a fun whistle to do.
Yeah, it is. I got complimented on my swoopy whistle last tournament I was at, in fact.
Excellent. It is not as easy as it sounds.
I only have so many skills, all right? So it's looking like, is this finalized? It is
Yes,
official
it is.
now. It's FoCo 189, Happy Valley 118.
All right, so we should be having a representative from each team coming over here to answer a couple quick questions for you. In theory.
Theoretically, if they remember us. If they remember us.
Yeah, so with that, I believe Happy Valley is now out of contention for this tournament.
Yes, it's a double elimination, and they have lost twice, so that is it for them. It was great to see them play, though.
Yeah, FoCo still going strong.
I believe this was FoCo's first bout of the tournament. Starting off with a win is always a good way.
And apparently looks like we will not be having any skaters coming over.
Aw.
That's
No one loves us.
Aw.
It's okay. I'm tempted to just grab one of them and be like, guess what? Interview. Seems a bit rude.
It does. But regardless.
I'm not great with manners. No, I think both teams have left, so I believe that's it for this bout.
FoCo continues to advance. Happy Valley unfortunately out, but gave it a great fight.
No, that was really impressive. They really astounded me there in the last half. So looks like we have a men's bout coming up next. It's gonna be I'm looking at acronyms. Sorry. Glenmore Reservoir Dogs against. Oh no, I'm reading track 1. It's gonna be Red Deer Dreadnoughts from Canada against Dallas Deception's B Team Dallas Inception. So keep tuned to track 2 if that is what you'd like.
I say one more bout here for today, then we've got a full 2 more days to come, and we are getting ourselves an interview.
All right.
Hypnotic Therapy coming over.
Nice.
Hypnotic Therapy, interview for you guys.
Where do you guys want?
Right there.
Right here.
All right, I am Rock Damak. I'm here with Hypnotic Therapy. Tough fight there towards the end. You guys had a great couple of last jams coming in. What do you think went well for you here today?
You know, we really focused a lot on forming strong walls and our team staying together, and then making sure that if they broke up those walls, we got back together again. And I think that really helped a lot because we could stop their jammer and give our jammer more time to break through. So I think that was a success.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely saw that from where I was sitting. Moving forward, what are you taking away from this experience here today?
Oh, wow. Derby's awesome, for one. Love playing the game. But I think the biggest thing that I took away is it's a team sport. You have to rely on each other. If your team's not doing what you need them to do, you have to fix it and adjust. And that's the great thing about Derby, is it's always adaptation. If you have a bad jam, you can come back the next jam and start with a clean slate. And I think that's a great mentality to have and a great mindset to have.
All right, absolutely. Hypnotherapy, thank you for coming over and talking to us here on ColoradoSports.TV. I am Rock to Mike. We will see you guys in just a bit for the next game.